this found you on April 3rd, don't scroll, because something weird is happening right now, and you're either going to ignore it like everyone else, or you're going to realize why this message feels a little too personal. There's this quiet shift that happens around this time of year. You don't hear it, you don't see it directly, but you feel it. It's in the way certain people start acting different. It's in the sudden texts that feel more intentional. It's in the way someone who used to be distant suddenly pays attention, but not in an obvious way. And if you're honest with yourself, you've probably noticed it. Maybe it was that one conversation that felt deeper than usual. Maybe it was eye contact that lasted just a second too long. Or maybe it was the silence. The kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most people think attraction is loud. Big gestures, obvious signs, clear intentions. That's what movies taught you. That's what social media pushes. But real attraction, the kind that actually leads somewhere, is quiet, controlled, almost hidden. And right now, someone is thinking about you in a way they haven't before. Pause for a second. Think about that. Because what I'm about to say might explain something you didn't even realize was happening. There's a psychological trigger that activates when someone starts seeing you as more than just an option. It's subtle, but once it starts, it changes everything. Their behavior shifts, their tone softens, their attention becomes more selective. But here's the part most guys completely miss. When a woman begins to emotionally lean toward someone, she doesn't rush in. She pulls back slightly. Yeah, it sounds backwards, but think about it. You've probably been in a situation like this, where things were going well, maybe even better than expected, and then suddenly she became a little distant. Not cold, not uninterested, just different. And you thought you did something wrong. But what if that wasn't rejection? What if that was the moment things actually started getting serious in her mind? See, when feelings become real, there's risk. And when there's risk, people protect themselves, especially someone who values emotional control. So instead of moving closer, she tests the space. She watches how you react. Do you chase harder? Do you panic? Do you overtext, trying to fix something that isn't broken? Or do you stay grounded? Because that response quietly decides everything. Here's something most people won't tell you. Attraction isn't built in the obvious moments. It's built in the in-between moments, the pauses, the delays, the things that feel slightly off but not enough to call out. That's where emotional decisions are made. And right now, if this found you on April 3rd, you're probably in one of those moments. Maybe someone is observing you more than you realize. Maybe someone is slowly shifting how they see you, from casual to something deeper. But they're not going to say it. Not yet. Because they're waiting to see something first. And this is where it gets a little uncomfortable. They're watching how you handle uncertainty. Yeah, that feeling you hate, that slight confusion, that moment where you're not sure where you stand, that's not random. That's the test. And most guys fail it without even knowing. They rush to define things. They seek reassurance too early. They try to lock something down before it's fully formed. But attraction, especially deep attraction, doesn't grow under pressure. It grows in space, in patience, in quiet confidence. Let me give you a quick scenario. Everything feels natural, easy. There's a rhythm. Then one day, the replies slow down just a bit. Not enough to be obvious, but enough to make you notice. Now here's the fork in the road. Most people react emotionally. They double text. They overanalyze. They assume something's wrong. But the rare ones, the ones who actually stand out, they don't react at all. Not because they don't care, but because they understand something deeper is happening. They recognize that when someone starts to value you more, they become more careful, not less. And that changes the dynamic. Now here's the part you didn't expect. This isn't just about her. This is about you stepping into a different role in her mind. From familiar to meaningful. From predictable to intriguing. And that shift, it doesn't happen through effort. It happens through presence, through how you carry yourself when things aren't perfectly clear. Think about this for a moment. Anyone can look confident when everything is going well. But how someone behaves when there's ambiguity, when things aren't defined, that's what creates emotional impact. That's what people remember. That's what builds attraction that actually lasts. And right now, if this message found you, there's a high chance you're being watched in that exact context. Not in a creepy way, in a curious way, in a I'm trying to figure him out kind of way. So the real question isn't what should you do next? It's What energy are you giving off without realizing it? Because that's what she's responding to. Not your words, not your texts, your emotional stability. Your ability to not fold under uncertainty. Your ability to stay the same, even when things feel like they're shifting. And that's rare. That's what creates that quiet kind of attraction people can't explain. The kind that makes someone think about you at random times. The kind that builds slowly, but hits hard. So if this found you today, don't rush anything. Don't try to force clarity. Let things unfold. Watch more than you react. And most importantly, stay grounded in who you are, not who you think you need to be. Because here's the truth most people learn too late. The moment you stop trying to control how someone feels about you, is the moment they start feeling more. And once you start noticing these patterns in real life, you'll never see human behavior the same way again. Subscribe for more insights.